4 local riders headed to the National High School Finals Rodeo in Wyoming. Courtney McClure, The Standard. Local teens are headed to Rock Springs, Wyoming, USA to compete in the National High School Finals Rodeo, NHSFR. The rodeo starts in July. The group attending the rodeo includes Bree Linders from Cannington, Wesley Cahoon, Patrick Cameron, and Ben Hoover from Port Perry. They are a part of the Ontario High School Rodeo Association, OHSRA. When competing in rodeo, there are different events. Patrick and Ben are competing in bull riding, Bree is competing in barrel racing and pole bending, and Wesley is competing in team roping and tie-down roping. The OHSRA is dedicated to promoting the sport of rodeo among Ontario students. They take students from junior and senior high school. Junior high is grades 5 to 8, and senior high is grades 9 to 12. Bree, Wesley, Patrick, and Ben are all in senior high. Bree is 16, and Wesley, Patrick, and Ben are 17, going on 18 years old. The members must maintain passing grades in all of their classes in order to compete. Other than competing, Wesley enjoys training young horses. Although Bree enjoys winning points for competing, she also loves the adrenaline. Ben and Patrick like traveling to new places for competitions and meeting other competitors. The OHSRA also has a scholarship program to help them achieve their post-secondary educational goals. During the rodeo season, competitors can win points. 1 point is equivalent to $1 for their scholarship fund. The points are awarded to the students when they graduate. For example, Wesley plans to become a farrier, so he can use any points he earns to buy tools for his trade. To learn more about the OHSRA, please visit the OHSRA website at ohsra.ca. This is not the first time Wesley and Bree have competed in a rodeo which was not close to home. Last year, they attended the Canadian High School Finals Rodeo in Manitoba. The trip from Ontario to Wyoming will take about 3 days, and the Cahoons will bring 3 horses along. If you would like to sponsor these 4 talented riders or provide a financial donation to help pay for their trip, please contact Wesley's mom, Linda Cahoon. Linda can be reached by email at cahoon668@hotmail.com.
Uxbridge declares King Street Parkette surplus. Daryl Knight, The Standard. Uxbridge. After years of deliberation, Uxbridge Council recently decided to sell the long-vacant King Street Parkette. The resolution to declare the land surplus was passed during their meeting on Monday, June 10th. The property, which has been vacant for over 40 years, will be put up for sale. A meeting with neighboring residents was scheduled, following the decision to gauge interest from potential local buyers. The parkette, once equipped with playground equipment, donated by a service club, has since fallen into neglect. Resident Jerry Oldham, who has been advocating for the park's retention for decades, suggested a bench and a picnic table would enhance the space. Despite her efforts, the council has moved forward with the sale. Following the surplus declaration, the land will undergo a rezoning process to change its designation from recreational to residential. Clerk Debbie Leroux noted a public meeting would be required for this rezoning. She referenced a 2014 report by township planning consultant Liz Howsam, which previously halted rezoning efforts for further study. Ms. Leroux clarified, the necessary studies have since been completed, allowing the process to proceed. Additionally, Council approved Ms. Leroux's recommendation the land not be serviced with water and sewer. According to the township's Parks Master Plan, the decision was made to allocate resources to other parks, as a playground on Quaker Village Common is located just 500 meters away from the King Street Parkette across Centre Road.
Brock Council approves Cannington basketball court expansion. Daryl Knight, The Standard. Brock. On Monday, June 10th, Brock Council approved a request from the Cannington Lions Club to support a community initiative aimed at relocating and expanding the existing half-size basketball court at McLeod Park. Initially funded and installed by the Lions Club in 2006, the half-court has long served local youth for 3x3 basketball and casual play. The push for a full-sized court began with a presentation by Cannington resident Darren Facey and Councillor Angela Canavan earlier this year. They highlighted the increasing interest in basketball among the town's youth and the need for a larger court with at least 2 nets. The McLeod Park Master Plan, drawn in 2012 and currently under review, proposed relocating the court to a site now occupied by a baseball diamond. However, financial constraints make this relocation unlikely. Instead, the former skateboard park, north of the arena, has been identified as a feasible location for a full-sized court. Mr. Facey has secured significant community support for the project. The Cannington Baptist Church donated 2 basketball nets following their auditorium renovations. Nordstrong agreed to build posts for the backboards, and local contractor Phil Hegarty from Towerview will provide materials and labor for installation. This project underscores the power of community advocacy and generosity. It promises to offer the youth a space for physical activity, team building, and social interaction. With coordination from township staff, the initiative aims to complete the new court for use this summer, marking a significant enhancement to McLeod Park. This improvement reflects the collective effort of Cannington residents and local businesses, demonstrating a strong commitment to enriching community amenities. Through the generations, Burns Bulk Food. Robin Vanderluten, The Standard. Burns Bulk Food is a third-generation, family-owned business in Lindsay, Ontario, providing top-quality bulk foods. Reese Burns, current owner, proudly explained the history of Burns Bulk Food and its importance to their family. My grandfather, Dave Burns, worked at Dominion stores in Lindsay and Cobourg. After a while, he was ready to take that knowledge and start his own business. In 1985, he bought Country Call, a pre-existing business in Lindsay Square, which was struggling. He ran it for a few years. In 1992, he had an opportunity to move on to Kent Street. He did and changed the name to Burns Bulk Food. Each generation worked in this store. Reese's father, Dan, and his aunt Jackie worked there during high school. Later, his aunt moved away, but his dad stayed behind and became the manager. In 2010, his dad bought the place from Reese's grandfather. He ran the business for 10 years until he got sick in 2020. At this time, Reese was starting a business management course at Fleming College. His father's health was declining, so Reese decided to quit college and go to work at the store full-time, and a year later, Dan Burns passed away. Reese's grandparents had experience running the family business, so they bought back the store from Reese's mom, Megan. The long-term plan was always for Reese to take over the business one day. So, Reese gladly took a managerial role to learn the business, sharing the role and responsibilities with their current manager. Reese is proud to say 3 generations created Burns Bulk Food. Small-town family values were passed down from his grandfather to his father. Reese wants to reflect those values and family history in the building. There were 3 generations of family history here. We want to stay the course, not make radical changes and double down on what we are good at and known for. Our goal is to look backwards. People coming in from Toronto and parts outside are leaving the big city hustle and bustle behind. People are moving here because they like what we offer, and we want to capture that with our store. The vision of Burns Bulk Food is to have an old-fashioned, candy-type persona with modern amenities and old farm equipment and antiques displayed around the store. We are going for the old country store look and feel, so when we renovate, we will double down on that, stated Reese. As the town of Lindsay expands, Reese wants to attract newcomers, not only to the store, but to the downtown in general. There is a big push from downtown businesses to attract newcomers and let them see what we offer. Excited to be taking on the role as third-generation owner, Reese would like to give special recognition to his grandparents for holding on to the business until he was ready, and to his mom for helping him along the way. Burns Bulk Food grand opening is on June 27th, when many stores will be open late.
Dear Me, A Letter to a Younger Self, Part 1 of 2. I was talking with a young soul the other day. They were on the cusp of a decision, obviously wrapped up in the overcomplication we can all sometimes flounder in. The time of young adulthood is fraught with an overwhelming number of decisions. All too often, the young are not rightly equipped to make them in a clear manner. Although stuff has been shared, they have not yet learned, through experience, how to access that equipping. This is a big part of the rightly in rightly equipped. Consequently, they are insecure and distrustful of making needed choices. Unfortunately, life is not sympathetic that way. It does not afford us unlimited time to choose the perfect way to go. in really anything. So, as an analogy, let's look at one's life path as a home someone is becoming comfortable to navigate in. One of the first things essential to getting through is to understand there are no uncomplicated paths in life. Every choice has its own organic further work to do after the initial direction has been chosen. This is called follow-through. It's a skill where one learns to clear out all the things which aren't part of the goal you seek. Like homesteading, this is part of clearing out the dead wood, so to speak, in the future place you're going to be living. So, further choices simply open up your house, your life, to a bigger living space. Just like riding your bicycle for the first time, when you pushed off, you had to keep on pedaling. This feels anxious at first, but after a while, you get used to it and accept the skill as part of yourself, no longer as something you're fighting with. So, making a choice is really only a prerequisite to the next needful thing. As young adults, we need to get used to that reality. There are also many unexpected adjusting choices along the way. These can only be understood in the moments when they arise. There's no use sweating them until their time. Still, other things might be anticipated and can be addressed earlier than the time you engage with them. Soon, other rooms will become known, the kinds of choices which may need a series of quick responses. Learning to choose clearly in a trusting way is an acquired skill, and it also comes with practice. Such is this life. Be encouraged. A little sweat never hurt anyone. Even better, if they are managed calmly and directly, choices can be reduced to a little perspiration only. Learning to make choices and follow in them can be good this way. Even though the education system, job market, political climate, or even your parents have a definite design in mind to help you through these steps, you must never lose yourself in the process. In fact, it is this very not knowing oneself enough which is at the heart of the concern about your life out there, especially without mom and dad. That's part of the claustrophobic, anxious feeling. Here's where many get stuck, because knowing oneself is a lifelong pursuit. You don't need to have it all figured out now, just the first step and maybe an approximation of the next. Like building a home, not just a house. It takes warmth, acceptance, and patience, then choosing and following through, none the same. Don't worry, if you're honestly trying to make a command life decision, own it and follow through. Parents will do all they can to have your back once they see you're at it. So will the rest of our society, like bosses and teachers, new responsible friends, counselors, and, guess what, even government. So tap the resources. We all want you to find your life, enjoy that home, and thrive. If that's an awkward picture to grapple with, then let's approach it this way. First, let's simplify. Or to simplify, for now, just simplify. Just a little joke to alleviate the stress. We're talking about launching your floating home. That's you. Not for a Viking funeral, but to go gently down the stream. It's your dream, but it is not fantasy. So this choosing stuff is becoming an adult. There will be course corrections needed as you sail your boat. But that's the life skills you gain out there. You have an opportunity here to find you can do this thing. So make it wise, because you only get one first chance to help everyone around be able to let go and see you float your own boat. Don't shy away from your promotion in life. This is good advice for young adults, even all adults of any stripe. There is a Christian saying, let go and let God. Some think that's saying you don't have to be responsible. It really means to lay hold of Jesus for help in your choices, and then take the active steps he guides you in. So having a friend who gets it can be a big advantage. You see, as Creator God, he knows your way even clearer than you do. Wow, his bird's eye view. Respect that. What I wouldn't give to see from that point of view. The Bible teaches in Psalm 25:12, if anyone lives respecting the Lord, for real in life's moments, so accepting him to be who he actually is in one's life, this frees God to instruct them in the best path or choice. It's great to have God in your life as the Father of your spirit and in the form of Jesus as the biggest big brother in your choices. To the young soul I was talking with, chin up, young man, and face the winds you are meant to face. Every life has them, but when you enter in, you'll find that Jesus has your back, and the wind, which seemed full of an emotional tornado, is only a breeze sent to open your sail. God bless you in all the good choices you answer.
Welcome to You've Got to Be Kidding. podcast that offers a different perspective of life around us. Listen now to author Jonathan van Bilsen.
Many of you have recently heard about the devastating turbulence encountered on a flight from London to Singapore. The turbulence was so severe that a passenger died and many others were injured. Jeff Kitchen, a 73-year-old British man, died from a suspected heart attack on board, while several others remained seriously injured. The Singapore-bound Boeing 777-300ER diverted to Bangkok following the mid-air incident, making an emergency landing with 211 passengers and 18 crew members aboard. A total of 104 people were treated and 58 remained in hospital, 20 of whom were in the intensive care unit. The aircraft suddenly dropped with very little warning, causing objects to fly through the air. People were doused in coffee during the incredibly severe turbulence. Those not wearing seatbelts were thrown into the ceiling as the plane abruptly dropped. Accidents involving Singapore Airlines are rare, with the carrier consistently ranking among the world's safest. The last fatal accident occurred in 2000 when a Boeing 747 crashed while attempting to take off from the wrong runway at a Taiwan airport. Turbulence is most commonly caused by aircraft flying through clouds, but there is also clear air turbulence, or CAT, which is not visible on a jet's weather radar. This type of turbulence is caused by the air near the jet streams that wrap around our planet, which can be turbulent even though the skies look clear. Turbulence is a change in the air around an airplane. Because air is fluid like water, currents of air move up and down, ripple out, change direction, and change speed. Some causes of turbulence are easier to predict. Thunderstorms, for example, which show on radar, push air up and down, so pilots use weather reports and instruments to avoid the worst of the storm. The movement of air as it's warmed by the sun also causes turbulence. Changes in weather are another cause, as are mountains and other geographical features. Airplanes themselves disturb the air and can cause turbulence for flights behind them, which is one reason air traffic controllers give airplanes space and why you might have to wait to take off. Although injuries from severe turbulence are relatively rare considering the millions of flights operated, wearing a seatbelt can be the difference between life and death. Anything not bolted down is at risk during severe turbulence. Research has shown that climate change will make severe turbulence more likely in the future. I'm Jonathan van Bilsen, and this is You've Got to Be Kidding.
You've Got to Be Kidding was presented by X4 Media with permission from the Standard Media Group. We endeavor to make all information contained in this program as accurate as possible at production time. X4 Media and the Standard Media Group are not responsible for any liabilities resulting from information contained in this program. For more information, please visit x4media.ca.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.